Good morning, children. Hope you all are safe and good. So, children, I have already explained you chapter number 1. We have discussed the question answers. I have sent the question answers also of this chapter. What is matter? I hope you have done, or if you have not done, please write down in your copies. Okay, so today I will again revise this chapter. I will again explain you this chapter shortly. Okay, so what is matter? So as you know, children, everything around us, every stuff that is around us is made up of matter. So by definition, matter is anything or any substance that has mass and occupies a space. Okay, there are three states of matter: solid, liquid and gas. Now what is kinetic theory? So kinetic theory, what is kinetic theory? Kinetic theory, it is a way to describe the motion of particles. So all these particles make up our matter. So these are the few postulates of kinetic theory. First one is matter consists of a tiny particles that are called atoms or molecules, and these particles are always in continuous motion and they are in random motion. Any direction they can move. They have the kinetic energy. Due to that kinetic energy or that gives movement to the particles, that energy, okay, that is called kinetic energy. Now if we will provide the heat to the any solid particle or solid state of matter, the kinetic energy will increase. So it is written in the third point. Now fourth point, if the distance between the particle increases, obviously if we will heat the solid state of matter, what will happen? They are closely packed. Okay, but now due to increased kinetic energy, they will increase the distance also. Okay, but their force of attraction will decrease, between the molecule will decrease. Now here you can see arrangement of particles. So in a solid, they are tightly packed. Okay, there is no gap. Okay, negligible gap. Now in the liquid, they are less closely packed and they have some spaces between them. So you can see the white spaces, these one. Okay, now in the gases, they are very far apart, they are very loosely packed, and so much gap is there in between the particles. Now next slide, you can see here I am showing you what is interconversion of solid to liquid, liquid to gas, gas to liquid, solid to gas. So you can see all processes are reversible. You can see these blue arrows. Okay, so now solid ice, when we will melt it, I have already explained you what is these terms: melting, freezing, vaporizing, condensation, sublime, deposition, freezing point, condensation point. So you all know these things. Okay, or please read or go through my videos, or just read the chapter, so you will understand easily. So now when we will melt, obviously melting process, what will happen? Melting or fusion, remember both are same. So when we solid ice convert into liquid phase, liquid state of water, and when we will condensed or heat this water, it will turn into gaseous form, and when we will condense these vapor, again it will turn into liquid form. Okay, same as ammonium chloride example I have given, or camphor or naphthalene ball. These are sublimating agents. Sublimating agent means they are in solid form, solid state of matter, but they can directly, by absorbing heat, they can directly convert into vapor form. And when these vapors, again when we will deposit it, when we will condense it, again it will turn into solid form. So these are the interconversions, okay, between the different states of matter. Now here I am showing you the properties: solid, liquid and gas. So solid have a fixed shape and volume, whereas liquids have fixed volume but no fixed shape. As we know, liquids take the shape of the container. Gases, they do not have shape, or they do not have a fixed volume. Gases covers all the available space. Now solids are highly rigid, liquids are less rigid, and gases are not rigid at all. Solids are not compressible, they are hard because they are rigid. Their kinetic energy is very less. Liquids are compressible, low at low level there, and the kinetic energy of liquid is also more than solids. Okay, but the the maximum kinetic energy is present in gaseous particle, between the gaseous particle. So gases are highly compressible, okay, because they have the high intermolecular distance. That's why we can easily compress the gases. Now, based on the appearance, they are of two types, homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous are basically substances which are uniform, which are of uniform composition, which we cannot see after mixing, which we cannot see with our naked eye. They are pure also. Whereas heterogeneous mixture, we can see the different layers, different phases of that. Okay, they are non-uniform, that's why. So examples are also given: detergent in water, alloy, salt in water, sugar in water. Here heterogeneous, mixture of oil and water, sand and iron, fruit salad, vegetable salad, anything. Air also, air is a mixture of homogeneous. Okay, now on the basis of composition, composition means the compound it is present. Okay, so pure substances and impure substances. Pure have the fixed composition, and impure have the composition is not fixed in the impure, and materials are made up of two or more than two substances, which is called mixture. Okay, so in pure substances their ratio is fixed. Okay, but in the impure it will mix in any ratio is not fixed. Now here they are showing the interconversion, solid to liquid. By heating or by cooling we can convert solid into liquid and liquid into solid. They have given example of ice and water also. Now here all the terms are given: what is vaporization, what is boiling, what is condensation, what is liquefaction, what is condensation point, what is evaporation. Next is solid to gas, like sublimation process. So when we will heat, solid will convert into gas. Now last slide is law of conservation of mass. We know according to this law, what this law states, that mass can neither be created nor destroyed. In a chemical reaction, whenever we will do any chemical reaction, any physical reaction, any chemical reaction, what will happen? Mass will not destroyed or created. Okay, number of reactants is always equal to the number of product. So I have explained one activity also, that is already given in your book, activity of silver nitrate plus HCl. Okay, so here also you can see this is the measuring device. Okay, measuring balance or physical balance you can say, or chemical balance. Okay, so through this chemical balance, what they are saying, they have hang the acid plus this is the solution. Okay, so they are taking before the chemical reaction, they are doing the measurement, and after mixing both the chemicals, they will again take the measurement. Okay, so digitally it is a digital chemical meter, so we will get the same reading. Okay, before chemical reaction we have to see the weight or mass of the reactants, both the reactants, and after reaction also we have to say the mass of the product, so it will be same. So it will prove the law of conservation of mass, which states mass can neither be created nor destroyed during chemical reaction. Okay children, so I hope you will get the idea, some idea. So please read the chapter, complete the exercises. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day. God bless you, beta.